The Oscars are finally upon us, and in this video, I'm giving my final predictions of all the winners. Hey everybody, thank you so much for stopping by. As I said in the beginning of this video, this will be a video talking about my predictions, not necessarily my picks, but who I think will win. I'm going to be going over almost every category. There are a few that I'm going to skip over just because either I didn't see a movie or I just don't have enough of an opinion on it. But with that said, all of my predictions will also be placed down in the description. So even the categories I don't talk about, you will see my picks below. But before we get any deeper, I want to give a shout out to the sponsor of this video, Kalshi. Kalshi is the first legal betting site in the US where you can bet on anything you want. Stuff like the Oscars, which we are talking about today. Will Oppenheimer win Best Picture? Will Emma Stone or Lily Gladstone pull away with Best Actress? This is how it works. Let's say you believe that Lily Gladstone is going to pull away with Best Actress, which as of right now, the odds are in her favor by 65%. So you could place a 65-cent bet. So let's say you want to buy 100 shares. You pay 65 cents times 100, that equals $65. And if Lily Gladstone wins, you get $100. And if not, you get $0. You can also sell your shares right before the show, just in case you're not feeling too good about the odds, because as we all know, this race in particular has been extremely difficult to predict. Kalshi has many movie markets, including Rotten Tomatoes scores, markets on politics, music, climate, economics, games, and pretty much anything else you can think of. It's the only place you can bet on the Oscars or any of the other things I mentioned in all 50 states. You can sign up right now using my link that will be both in the description and the pinned comment. And by signing up, you will get $20 in free credit to use on whatever you choose. This is honestly such a great program, something that I've already used a few times myself to predict a couple of the categories that I'm pretty confident about, and I hope that you guys check it out too. Thank you so much to Kalshi for sponsoring this video. Kicking things off with the Best Actor category, there was a point where it seemed like this competition was a little tighter, but as of right now, I feel like it stands. I'm confident in going with Cillian Murphy for Oppenheimer. There was a point where it seemed like Paul Giamatti might run away with it, but as of right now, I mean, the odds are entirely in Cillian Murphy's favor. At this point, it is his award to lose. Same with actor in a supporting role. I'm going to go through this one pretty quickly. It's Robert Downey Jr. Who else is going to win other than Robert Downey Jr.? He's won every single award up to this point. There's no slowing him down now. Along with that, continuing her hot streak for wins in Best Supporting Actress, Da'Vine Joy Randolph is about to become the next winner for Best Supporting Actress. It's almost guaranteed. Then we get into Best Animated Feature, and I feel like this should be a runaway victory for one movie in particular, but at the moment, it seems more neck and neck. It's a little less comfortable than a lot of the other categories. I think the biggest competition is between Across the Spider-Verse and The Boy and the Heron. Now, what movie do I want to win this award? Well, obviously, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. It was my favorite animated movie of the year, and honestly, I think it is one of the best animated movies ever. But in terms of who do I think will win, well, Across the Spider-Verse is going up against Hayao Miyazaki in what is potentially his last movie ever. The Boy and the Heron didn't have as overwhelmingly positive of a response among fans and critics, but at the same time, they might decide to go in his favor just to give him his flowers. It's really tough, but I gotta go with my gut here, and I'm just gonna stick with Across the Spider-Verse for now, but this is definitely one where I could see there being an upset. And as of right now, Across the Spider-Verse is winning by 72% on Kalshi, but will it hold true to that? I'm honestly going to be pretty upset if Across the Spider-Verse somehow doesn't win this category, but yeah, let's hope for the best. Then we move on to cinematography. I was thinking that there was a chance here that Poor Things might get this win, but I'm pretty confident in saying at this point that it's going to be Oppenheimer. Hoyt van Hoytma is going to win another Oscar. One more of many wins for Oppenheimer on Oscars night. Costume design. While I'm not the most well-versed in this category, my gut tells me it's going to be Barbie. So therefore, I'm going to say that Barbie is going to win this award. There's a chance that Barbie ends up not coming away with much that night, but I have a feeling if it's going to win anything, the technical categories like costume are a big one for it to take. They brought Barbie Dreamland to life, and with that, they also had to have some very vibrant and detailed costumes to pair with that, and I think it's a very heavy favorite. But according to Kalshi, Poor Things is actually winning by 1%, so who knows what direction this could go in. Then we move on to directing. It's Nolan. It's been Nolan. It continues to be Nolan. It will always be Nolan. Christopher Nolan is about to be known as Academy Award-winning director Christopher Nolan, and I am very excited for that moment. Documentary feature film. I haven't seen any of these nominated, unfortunately, but it does seem like 20 Days in Mariupol is leading the charge, with it being very culturally relevant and really pushing the boundaries and being very bold in its storytelling and its subject material. I can easily see this one going in favor of that movie. Documentary short film. Also, I haven't seen any of these, but I would have to go with the ABC's of book banning, just from what I've heard. Then we move on to film editing, another category that I think Oppenheimer takes the win here. Simply because of how much it's doing, telling a story that is both in present time and going back to the past, the black and white sequences mixed with the color sequences. You've got all of the flashing scenery on screen, as well as just making a movie that is so dense be very digestible to such a large audience. A big part of that is due to the editing. I think that's what the Academy is going to go with here, so I'm picking Oppenheimer for film editing. Then we move on to international feature. While there are a few movies here that have definitely been getting some buzz as of late, I think the obvious winner, and the one that they're going to go with, is The Zone of Interest. Simply put, there are a lot of very beloved movies in this category, but only one is also nominated for Best Picture. And typically, if there's an international film that is also nominated for Best Picture, it's almost automatically going to win. Makeup and hairstyling. Now, I didn't really have an opinion on this either, but looking at the nominees, I think it's pretty clear they're going to give it to Maestro. I mean, did you see Bradley Cooper? They've been campaigning like crazy. They made a massive deal out of completely transforming Bradley Cooper into Leonard Bernstein, and oftentimes when you have a movie at this scale that is getting this amount of attention and the lead character has completely transformed into and has loads of makeup to look directly like the character that they're playing, the Academy tends to lean in that direction. So I'd say that this is Maestro's award to lose, and I don't know how many other awards it's going to get if it doesn't get this one. Then we go to the music category. I wonder who's going to win. It's Oppenheimer. It's been Oppenheimer. It's going to continue to be Oppenheimer. Ludwig Göransson is about to win another Oscar. It's the obvious clear frontrunner, the best one here. I'd be shocked if they give it to anybody else. But the Academy is known for surprising us from time to time. This one just seems too clear. Then we move on to Best Original Song. The race, really, the entire award season has been between two songs. That is I'm Just Ken and What Was I Made For, both from Barbie, respectively. If Barbie's going to win any awards this year, I think the music category is the easiest bet. And while I'm Just Ken was definitely a major pop culture phenomenon, heck, Ryan Gosling's even performing the song at the Oscars, I think it's pretty clear that Billie Eilish is about to take home another Oscar with What Was I Made For. I think it's definitely the best song out of these nominees, and also the one that the Academy is most likely going to respond to the best. And according to Kalshi, What Was I Made For is the clear frontrunner with 90% in its favor. Then we move on to production design, which I mentioned that costumes were likely going to go to Barbie. And in my mind, I would think that the costumes would pair nicely with production design, and that there's a chance that Barbie runs away with both of these awards. But the more I think about it, it just seems like they're most likely going to give it to Poor Things here. Barbie brought Dreamland to life, but Poor Things just seems a little bit more dynamic in its locations, a little more in-depth with the detail, and I can see the Academy voting members going more towards the side of scale and diversity than just bright, vibrant colors. So I'm kind of backtracking on my thought process here, but I think I'm going to give production design to Poor Things. And Kalshi agrees with me. Poor Things is at a 72% lead right now. Now we move on to the sound category. Keep in mind, sound is now condensed to only one category, to where it was previously split up into sound mixing and sound editing. It's all now one thing. And I know a lot of people are going Oppenheimer here, but I'm going to be a little different, and I'm going to pick The Zone of Interest. I just think it's the most interesting choice.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Now, Oppenheimer is the obvious clear favorite on Kalshi as well for this category, but I just gotta pick something that's a little bit different. This is more of a gut feeling than anything else. The sound plays just as big of a factor in the movie as pretty much everything else, and so I just feel like for what it was doing and the way it ties into the narrative of the movie, they're gonna give it that award. Visual effects. Now, this category is interesting, and it could go a few different directions. They could surprise us and give it to something like Napoleon, because we know the Academy loves the historical biopics, or they could even give it to the creator. But my thing about not giving it to the creator is the film was such a box office flop that I just don't know how much of the voting body actually got to see the movie. So again, I'm going to go with my gut here and pick Godzilla -1, which honestly, if this movie wins, I will be very, very happy. Adapted screenplay. This is one I wasn't very certain of before, but it seems more and more clear of who is going to win this award. I'm actually going to give it to American Fiction. It's been really heating up in the past few award shows. It seems to be the only real recognition that the film is getting, that it feels like there's actually a chance it could win in that category. You could argue for Barbie or Oppenheimer. But as of right now, I just have a hunch that American Fiction is going to pull away with this one. Then we get to original screenplay. Now, if it was up to me, I'd give it to something like The Holdovers or May December, but it seems pretty clear that Anatomy of a Fall is going to win this category. In fact, right now on Kalshi, Anatomy of a Fall stands a 70% chance of winning. Then we get into what is without a doubt the tightest race, the most interesting category that we've been talking about for quite a long time now. It's been neck and neck the entire award season, and that is Best Actress. Is it going to be Lily Gladstone? Is it going to be Emma Stone? It's the battle of the Stones. Now, for the first part of award season, it seemed like Emma Stone was easily going to pull away with it. But as things have gone along, it's gotten a little bit more interesting, and Lily Gladstone has seemed to pick up a lot of momentum, and momentum always plays a major factor. And like I mentioned in the beginning of the video, Lily Gladstone is currently leading by 65%. She took a massive jump. Only a week ago, it seemed almost certain that Emma Stone was going to pull out the victory, but it's not so certain anymore. Plus, when you take into account things like Emma Stone has already won in the past, so the Academy might want to go a different direction, Lily Gladstone is playing a real-life character, but also it would be the first win for a Native American actress in the history of the Oscars, so history is on her side as well. I'm still, up to this point, not certain, but I have to go with my gut. And as of right now, like I said, momentum is playing a major factor, and therefore, I'm going to go with Lily Gladstone winning the Oscar here. I really think she's going to do it, folks. But then again, 30 minutes from now, I could think it's Emma Stone. The odds are all over the place. Who knows? All that's guaranteed is somebody with Stone in their name is going to win. I can guarantee that. And then we move on to the big one, folks. Best Picture. And for once, I can say that this might be the easiest award to predict of the entire ceremony. It's Oppenheimer. There's been a lot of talk around the rest of these nominees, and this is one of the most stacked nominees lists that we've seen in years, but it's been clear from the very beginning, Oppenheimer is going to be the next Best Picture winner. And I can't tell you how happy that makes me feel. I'm going to be so excited to see this film take home that award. I definitely think it's the most deserving, and it's the one that the people want to see win, and it's just cool to have audiences and voters be on the same side for once. And I mean, come on, if you're wanting easy money, Kalshi says that Oppenheimer has a 96% chance to win Best Picture. I think we'd all be caught off guard if anything else won, because it really doesn't seem like there's a chance. This is Oppenheimer's award to lose. So there you have it, guys. Those are my predictions for who I think will win at the Oscars. And I gotta say, I'm pretty confident in my picks, more so than I have been in the past few years. It seems like this is a lot easier to predict than most years that we get, but I'm excited to see how everything plays out. I'm excited to see if there's gonna be any major surprises or switch ups, but I'm locking in my predictions now. Make sure to comment down below. Let me know your predictions as well. And thank you so much again to Kalshi for sponsoring this video. Like I said, I will have a link both in the description and the pinned comment of this video to where you guys can click on the link, sign up, and get free $20 of credit to put towards anything you want. But as always, make sure to leave a like on this video and subscribe if you haven't already. And until next time, I will see y'all later. Peace out.